check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
What is up, you guys? JD here. I wanted to talk to you guys today about out-of-state investing when it comes to real estate. We're going to talk about how to build a team, how to analyze a new market, as well as the steps you can take to have success and really build up a portfolio in a market outside your own. So, you guys have any questions on this stuff after I go through it, be sure to comment below. I'll get to those questions. And make sure, if you find this video useful, that you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, let's get into out-of-state investing. So the first thing I'll say about investing out of state and how to analyze a new market that you're not familiar with is you have to figure out what numbers you're going for. If you're looking out of state, likely you're not finding what you want in your market, and right now the real estate market is pretty crazy all around. It's not always the grass is green on the other side, but sometimes it is. You have to try to find some people to network with, and we'll get into this more a little bit later, but find people who are having success in that market that you're looking into, and try to make a couple connections in that market, whether it be via social media, real estate meetups, or however, just so you can get a better feel for the market. Now, a lot of times when you look at another market, the prices aren't going to be super familiar to you. Depending on whether you're looking as a long-term investor or a short-term investor, there's a couple different tools you can use. The main tool that I use is Price Labs. The information on Price Labs is invaluable. It takes about $10 to generate the data that you need for the area you're looking at, and you can really run some serious numbers on the houses that you're analyzing. A big piece of that I use that's a little different than playing with AirDNA or otherwise is when you create what they call these market dashboards, you're able to see all of the listings in that area and how they've performed over the last year. This really helps key in on how listings are doing and give you kind of what's more traditionally a comp set. You can go in and view the other Airbnb listings. So let's say I'm looking at a market, I'll take the Poconos as an example, somewhere I've been looking at lately. When I generate a report within a mile of any rental that I'm looking at, there will be 17 pages worth of listings. In other words, 200 or more listings that I can look at, and it's really easy to kind of go through those, see what listings are making a lot of revenue, see which ones aren't, and by being honest with the property you have and comparing the size, the aesthetic, the amenities you have, you're gonna be able to find other listings that are comparable to yours. And if those listings are doing, say, $50,000, $60,000 a year, you're very likely going to end up in the same exact space before you pay attention to whether you're managing it the right way or not, right? Because these guys could be not managing it professionally. You might be using a professional manager, and you may be able to squeak out some extra revenue from that. But comparing apples to apples, assuming the management's the same, Price Labs is an awesome tool to analyze for short-term rental potential. Now, if you're going for the long term, you really want to make sure that you're familiar with the market before you get into it and start to put offers out. A lot of that will go back to the networking, but the big thing is making sure you're playing online. If you can get any type of MLS access, that's huge, working with an agent in that market. Now, of course, they're trying to sell you, so you want to do your own due diligence. A lot of times I use Realtor.com or Zillow, and you can just change the filters to see what has rented in the past. It's not always a great idea to just see what's for rent on the market, because those things are still trying to rent and they may have to price drop. But if you change your filters to things that have rented in the past 3 to 6 months and can find some comparable rentals to what you're trying to achieve, whether you're fixing something up or you're just buying turnkey, you'll get a pretty good estimate on what something will rent for. And you can use this same strategy for ARV. If you just look at comps in that area and do your due diligence, you'll be able to really put together your own model. Now, the key piece where I think it's going to be really important for the networking aspect and maybe working with a realtor in that area is understanding the different neighborhoods and pockets that areas have. Philadelphia, as an example, depending on what block you're on, these blocks could have a totally different feel. Now, my goal for you guys is to be able to out-of-state invest without ever having to tour the property. I've bought houses without looking at them. I'm comfortable with these markets. This market can be pretty competitive, so you don't always have time to go tour or throw in an offer. Now, when I say learn the neighborhood and try to see if you can understand the pockets, another tool for this is niche.com. It really explains the neighborhoods and the breakdown and what you can expect in that area. And if you can just network with those investors from real estate meetups, or if you can meet people through social who are having success, you'll be in a much better position to offer on that market. Now, these people from meetups and social are gonna be your best bet because they don't have any skin in the game, in the sense that whether you buy or not, they don't care. So when they give you feedback, it's gonna be very genuine. They're not gonna be pushing you into the market. And I think that's where they'll have a leg up versus a realtor. Now, with our clients in PA, whether it's Philadelphia or the Poconos, a lot of the time, I'm already investing in these areas and I'm looking for my own houses to buy. And I don't care if someone else wants to jump in and buy something, but if I'm already putting the time in to do the same thing for myself, it's really helpful to just pass that same information along to our clients and give them all the same research that we've already done. So if you're looking in PA, be sure to hit up Live Free Listings, whether it's me, Tyler, Mikey. We got a plethora of guys who are ready to help you out. The other thing I want to get into is how to build your team out there, and I'll talk to you about that both long-term and short-term. So you're ready, you've done your market research, you have looked extensively at the market, and you're ready to put in offers. The only thing holding you back is building a team in that area. When it comes to building a team in real estate, there are so many tools available to you nowadays. You are gonna have no trouble getting everything in place that you'll need to rent successfully. If you're running a long-term rental, odds are out of state, you're gonna have a property manager. I would just recommend interviewing a couple different property managers, see who you gel with best, and then take the leap of faith. Worst case, you can always switch later. If you're gonna be doing it by yourself, that's totally cool. There's a lot of great apps out there that can help you out, such as TaskRabbit, where you can go on and find handymen and contractors to use for whatever it is that you need. A lot of times, I'll start with using and testing people out from TaskRabbit in a new market. And then from there, what I'll do is I'll just have them start working on the side for me or be on call and kind of get away from the app. But once you build that trust with your contractors and your maintenance team, you'll be in a much better position. Now, if you're going for the short-term route, there's gonna be a couple extra things that you need. You might need some more boots on the ground. You also may need cleaners. There's a couple of strategies you can use. It's definitely 10 times easier to just do the same thing where you find a couple of property management companies in short-term. They might be harder to find, but I'm sure there's a couple in your market. Our team is willing to handle and able to handle anything across the country. We have rentals anywhere from the East Coast, Jersey Shore, all the way to Costa Rica. We have some in Hawaii. So we have no lack of experience entering a new market. Chances are we're already in your market. And one of the ways that you can get cleaners in a new market when taking it on and how we would play it out is we use a service called Turnover B&B. Turnover B&B is an excellent tool for finding cleaners. All the cleaners on there are vetted. They also have reviews. When you need a cleaning job, you just post what price you're willing to pay, or you post your listing and they will either accept your price or they will bid on the amount that they would like to be paid to do your job, and they are all reviewed. So you can see that how long they've been working, you can see that they've received recommendations from other hosts, and that's a really great tool for coming up with cleaners. Like I said, TaskRabbit is great for vendors. And then boots on the ground, there's a couple ways you can do that. I'm sure you could get some of these people off TaskRabbit to be kind of more of a concierge service and help your guests out when you need, since you're out of state. Otherwise, you might want to see if there's any colleges local, have someone take a hospitality internship and work with you. That's a great way to get them experience. I recommend paying these people a fair market value or maybe even a little bit above. That's always been my philosophy is to try to get good talent and train good talent and pay them the right way. But that's definitely a tool you can use to get labor and find qualified labor. Now, as far as building out a team of contractors, it'll be the same thing. You want to just do your research and try to find a couple different renovation teams that have references that you can use so that you can have a successful renovation when you're all done. If you're going the fix and flip method or if you're doing the BRRRR method. Chances are the people in those real estate investing groups or people on social that you've met, they also have people they can recommend to you. So now at this point, you should have the tools you need to do the market research into a new market. You definitely want to make sure you spend time checking out some property managers who can take care of this for you so you can live free. And you should have the tools you need to build the team that you need in the event that you're going that route. But good luck out there, guys. I wish you the best with your investments. I want you to have as much passive income as possible so that you can live free. And if you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. If you found this video at all helpful, please subscribe and make sure to like the video. And I will catch you guys next time on Live Free TV.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.